Well, Jesus, congratulations. It's another season here at San Marcos. Just how's it feel going into this 2026 season?
Yeah, we feel really confident right now. We've put in a lot of work this fall with the addition of the analytics department for the pitching staff, and Blakely has a full season now to kind of lead us and guide us. So we've been really confident. Team culture is really good, and things are looking really well for us.
Yeah, going back to last season,
Yep.
obviously it's not the season y'all wanted, especially when y'all upset, A&M and Texas in the same season. Just things didn't go well in conferences. What did y'all learn from last season that y'all are taking into this season just to improve on?
Yeah, I mean, when we play those teams like A&M, Oklahoma State, Texas, wherever it may be, where we're the underdog, we're looking for the upset. We tend to play a little different baseball than with like a little chip on our shoulder, and that's what we need to take into the conference this year. Yeah, we're just looking to play like that every single game, bring the same energy, bring the same juice to every game, no matter what the situation is, no matter who's on the other side of that dugout.
Jesus, what have you been working on personally, with the pitching staff, like a lot of new coaches around?
Yep.
What's that been like working with them, and what have you been working on for your own development?
It's been awesome. I feel like there's been a lot of development this year. Like I said earlier, now we have full use of the TrackMan. With Wallace and Jamie helping us out with the numbers and pitch design, every single one of us has developed either one or two pitches, including myself. So that's really makes us feel more confident in attacking everything we can. We just attack now.
Jesus,
Yep.
coming up on this schedule for you guys, you're taking on teams like Gonzaga and Washington State, teams that Texas State will face as conference games starting next season. How do you plan on attacking teams in the future Pac-12, and what's the outlook for you guys this season?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get a taste of it early this year, but I think we got to go into the game, no matter who it is, attacking the same way. We can't really get caught up on who's on the other side. I think that will be the biggest thing, is not really getting caught up in being a Power 5 school now. Just keeping true to ourselves in that sense.
Do you want to tell us what pitch you were working on, or are you going to keep that close to your chest?
Yeah, I mean, I got two new pitches in the sinker and the cutter, so I've been feeling really good about those.
Yeah, talk about the new analytics or like the introduction of like what y'all been doing. Like, how's that been helping the pitching staff so far?
Yeah, I mean, some of us almost reinvented ourselves with this new design that we have. Slow-mo cameras, TrackMan numbers. It's been really, really good, really different. Things that we had never even thought about, considered like in games that we didn't even realize what we were doing wrong or what we could have been doing better. So that has really changed our pitching staff's game for sure.
Yeah, talk about this rotation in the bullpen. I know y'all lost quite a bit of orange from last season, but like tell me about these new faces coming in, and was it like now that you're basically kind of like one of the leaders of this rotation?
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of newcomers, a great freshman class that are really going to make an impact on this pitching staff. So even with a lot of transfers, the guys that are returning, we know what it takes to win at this level and to be successful. So we're kind of just all of us trying to build a good pitching culture, get everybody bought into the new stuff that we have coming in.
What are some of the new guys, new transfers or freshmen that have really stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, all of our freshmen are really, really good. We'll have Nolan Moore, freshman left-handed pitcher, Titan Targach, freshman left-handed pitcher, and Wade Cooper, right-handed pitcher. Those are huge additions to our pitching staff. So I think that we'll get a lot of playing time, and they'll be really, really good for us.
At the end of all this, going and especially this being the final year of the sim, but like, what does this team need to do to kind of, after two so seasons, these past couple of years, like, what does this team need to do to kind of get back to that 2022 team that made it to the regionals and getting back to where like Texas State's kind of like a well-known like mid-major team, especially here in Texas?
Yeah, we just need to stick together, play for each other. Most of all, kind of be that unselfish type of baseball where sometimes you just need to get the job done instead of going for that one swing of the one homer, just get that one strikeout. It doesn't really change the game, but it's more of a selfish perspective. But I think if we stick together, I think those guys from 2022, like Dylan Kerbo was on that team, he talks about how close they were together and how they were actually friends. And a lot of the guys from that team, they kind of hang out outside of they're still friends now. So I think that's what we need here, is to have that culture of like that brotherhood that will really take us to the next level.
Hey, Jesus, what's one thing that the students that come to see you guys, what can they look forward to in 2026 here?
Yeah, I mean they could look forward to a good display of baseball, good energy from the fans. There's good entertainment. There's opportunities to win prizes at our games. With this new video board, we'll have more videos of more understanding of what's going on in the game. So it'll be easier to follow than before with the smaller scoreboard. Like there'll be more entertainment with that coming along as well. So I think they could expect a fun time at the ballpark.
Yeah, there's a lot of investment going into baseball and softball. Y'all are getting a new, new locker room, new pitching labs, new batting cages. You're getting a new video board.
Yep.
What can you say about the investment? Texas State and like your donor base has really made into this program.
No, you can see the support for sure. With these donations that we've been receiving, we're really grateful for them. It's really going to elevate the success of this program just because we'll be able to develop better. Like Coach Stroud said last weekend, we'll be able to stay more time at the field than being across the train tracks right now in the locker room, and we'll just be able to stay here longer. And we really appreciate all the support. I think we really will take this to the next level once we get those new additions.
Well, Chase, it's hard to believe, it feels like, just yesterday you were just a freshman, and breaking all these home run records. Now here you are as a senior playing third base for the Bobcats. Like, what does it mean, staying here all 4 years at Texas State, and what does it mean going into your senior year?
Yeah, I mean, there's no place like Texas State. I mean, ever since I first got here, it's always been a dream to be a Bobcat, and to be here 4 years, I'm truly blessed for the opportunity every day to come out here and be a Bobcat. And yeah, going into senior season, we're just trying to leave the Sunbelt on a good note and get these guys to the Pac-12, but just one more run at it. Can't wait.
Now, obviously, last season didn't go what y'all wanted to be. Obviously, y'all had the wins over A&M and Texas, but obviously y'all want something much more than that. Like, looking over last season, what does this team need to do to kind of get over that hump and kind of get back to that, especially to where that 2022 team was?
Yeah, I think it's just the mentality side of when we roll into those games against A&M and Texas, we're always all hyped up and ready to go. And we got to take that same energy going into Arkansas State, ULM, some of those guys that aren't the powerhouses in the Sun Belt, and we got to have the same mentality as we do playing A&M or UT as we do playing those guys.
Chase, you're, I think, 6 home runs away from the all-time record at Texas State. Is that correct?
Yes.
How do you keep that off your mind, or plan to keep that off your mind going into the season? Is that possible? Or is it something you just kind of accept and just try to, not think about too much?
I'm very superstitious, so I don't like to talk about things until they're done. So it's kind of just treating it as every day I show up here, I'm still the same guy I was as a freshman, and now I'm a senior. So.
Chase, who else on this lineup coming towards opening day really sticks out for you as to really create a great run-producing offense for this team?
Man, there's a couple. I guess starting out with returners, you have Rashawn Galloway. That's going to be an everyday guy for us. He's had an unbelievable fall in early spring, and then another returner, you have Austin Munguia and Dawson Park that are looking to be huge contributors for our offense, and then even some of the newer guys like Jaquay Stewart, transfer from UT, he's going to be a big impact. Bennett Fryman, he's a transfer in from Blinn. He's going to be a big impact. And then, our freshman class, I'm sure y'all have heard, but it's probably the most impressive freshman class I've seen since I've been here. So you got guys like Tanner Carson that's probably going to look to play every day. You got Jackson Cotton that's probably going to work his way into our lineup. Blake Behealer, he'll probably work his way in there as well. So just excited to see those guys show up and really get after it like us returners have.
And on the defensive side of the ball, you guys had your ups and downs last year fielding. What adjustments have been made to get you guys ready for this season?
Yeah, just Trout really instilling in us that defense wins championships. So just really honing in on that and understanding that you make the routine plays, you're going to have the best outcome of that game.
You got a lot of transfers on this team, a lot of new faces, like with the freshmen. So how do you, as a senior, help lead the team and develop chemistry with so many new guys that don't really know each other?
Yeah, it's back to the first meeting we had with Coach Trout. He's like, you returners, it's the faster you can get these guys under your wing and into this culture, the better it's going to be. And I think it was amazing how fast these newer guys accepted the culture and bought into the culture, and it's been amazing. We're a very tight-knit group, so.
Yeah, looking how the offense performed last season, where is something like this team needs to improve on going into this year?
Yeah, Double D says all the time, is how many, it's kind of a basketball term, but how many shots on goal can you get? And I feel like last year we had the opportunities, we had the guys on, we just never had the big hits. And I think that's the difference in this year's team is we get the guys on base, but we also cash in when we need to.
You know, this program, there seems to be a lot of pride surrounding this program. This is my first year covering it. In terms of, like, you guys are very, like, successful in the past. You've won Sun Belt championships. And now you see, like, people are investing into the program with, like, you know, the renovations and whatnot. So what does that just say about, like, does that put any pressure on you guys to just, like, really, like, bring the program back to, like, where it was, like Colton said, in, like, 2022?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all look back at that 22 season, and that's the main goal is to get back to a regional. But I think the new standards is not doing what that team did, is doing better. So our goal this year is obviously go win the Sun Belt first, then go win the tournament, and then keep going and take this thing all the way to Omaha.
Yeah, what's going to take for this team to win that Sun Belt championship, especially knowing how tough this league is?
Yeah, I mean, just showing up every day, like with the mindset that it doesn't matter who's in the other dugout over there, that we're going to play our game, we're going to play to our standard and not the scoreboard.
Yeah, you know, with this being the final year in the Sun Belt, like, what does it mean, like, your senior class is going to be the final group that's going to play in the Sun Belt?
I mean, it's pretty cool knowing that we have my senior class. I mean, there's only 2 other of us that have been here all the way, so I think taking this last ride with those guys is going to be very meaningful and just hoping to leave the Sun Belt on the high note.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of players that, you know, that have, you know, been here, freshmen at Texas State, and, you know, obviously transferred out, and you're one of the few seniors that stayed all 4 years. What made you decide, like, you wanted to stay at Texas State all 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing every year. Is like you see all these bigger programs and this and that, and they're the next team to do it. And we still here, we could be the first ones to go win at Omaha for this team or go to a super regional. So I think that's what really keeps me fired up is I have the chance to be the first ones to do it and not the next. And then obviously the family aspect around here. Coach Trout, all the coaching staff, I mean, it's truly a family. Like, they're extended parents to me. Like, if I need them, they're always there. So that was another big reason.
Chase, going off that, like, what does Coach Trout mean to you? Like, what has he meant to your development, to your becoming the player that you are today?
Oh, man, he's meant everything. He's not only my coach. I look at him as an extended parent. I mean, we can have our conversations on the field where it's, hey, you need to do this or that, and then I can always go to his office and have a more heart-to-heart conversation. So he's very good on that side, is making us all feel comfortable, but understanding that on the field it's time to go to work, but if I do need help outside of the field, he's always there for me.
Well, Coach Stroud, another season here in San Marcos. I know after, you know, these past 2 seasons haven't been up to the standards. I know what this program said, especially back in 2022. Just going into this season, what does this team program need to do to kind of get back to 2022 and kind of get back to where you believe this team needs to be?
Yeah, you know, I think at this time each year, you know, we sit down as coaches try to figure out, you know, starting rotations, starting lineups, the depth, all the above. And every year heading into it, we always feel really good about it. And just like this year, we feel really good about where we are as a team and the personnel, the makeup of the team, a lot of things that go into it. And so we're excited about it to get back to where we were. A lot of things go into that, right? And a lot of that gets answered in the season. Obviously, they're prepared for that, you know, mentally with the routines, through all of it. But then it's about how you handle adversity, to be honest with you. You know, last year we were dealt a ton of injuries, and every year you're going to have injuries, some years way more than others, and that was one of those last year. And then, you know, different years, just different personalities. And so for us, I'm really excited about this group. I think it's some key veterans coming back, some key guys we got out of the portal in the junior college world that are experienced and have a lot of at-bats and innings under their belt. And this freshman class is really dynamic and really fired up for them to be here on campus. And I think you're going to see a lot of guys that are really young get a lot of chances early because they put themselves in good positions in practice. So, like I said, we're ready for it. Still need the week or 2 weeks of practice left, but really excited about this team heading into opening day.
Yeah.
Coach Jesus was saying that the pitching technology that they have gotten has really helped him and the other members of the rotation develop. What can you say about, like, what it's done to help the pitchers?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time trying to raise more money to bring more technology to our program. I think in this day and age in college baseball, there's a lot of different things that can get your team better, and technology is definitely one of them. With the portable TrackMan, different things we do with our guys to give them instant feedback on what their stuff is doing. And so almost every pin they throw, they'll throw with the portable TrackMan, the Edgertronics camera, and they're constantly trying to work on pitch shape, pitch design. And I tell people all the time, we're still old school because at the end of the day, you can have the best pitch design, but if you can't compete, it doesn't really matter. And so for us, I feel like we do a great job as a staff at trying to blend both, but trying to use all that information and all that technology to get our guys better. And you're going to see that again when we get the pitching lab built. That'll be something we continue to extend to our guys, because today, to get a guy at the highest level, you got to develop them on the field and obviously with technology as well.
Coach, the freshman class this year is considered to be one of the better classes ever recruited for Texas State baseball. Who are some of the freshmen that stand out to you that you think will have a big impact this season?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. I think you start with a guy like Nolan Moore, big left-handed pitcher from New Braunfels. Since day one, just looks different as far as a freshman. But just even you probably think he's a junior or senior if you came out to practice and watched him. I mean, I say watch him on the mound, but watch him also off the mound. The way he walks around, the way he preps for his outings, the way he works in between his outings. It's definitely a guy named Wade Cooper from Del Rio, right-handed pitcher. Both those guys have been up to 97, 98 miles an hour. So you talk about velocity. There's power in there. They're going to pitch it 93, 95 with other off-speed pitches. Then a guy named Titan Tarjak from Flatonia, left-handed pitcher with a really, really good fastball. It's not going to be 95, but guys just don't square it up. And so ultra competitive kid from a small town, and those three guys are going to get a lot of different innings built over this season. And then you look at the offensive side. You flip over a guy named Tanner Carson from South Lake Carroll. Has been just really, really impressive swinging the bat from the day he walked in. You always kind of wonder when they come back from Christmas what they're going to look like. And he's just, I mean, he looks like like I said, an older veteran guy. Just has great at bats. And then probably the last one, like I said, all of them are really good. But Jackson Cont's another guy that's put himself in position to get a lot of playing time and have a chance to go compete when the lights come on. And so he's a left-handed swinger from Houston and really, really athletic. And the thing with all those guys is they were all getting talked to in the draft. They were all getting talked to by pro scouts, and obviously chose to come to Texas State. And so we're really excited to have them here and see what that freshman season has in store for them.
Yeah, obviously y'all made some shakeups in the coaching staff. Obviously very tough decisions there, especially how long the staff's been together. Why did you decide to make those changes, and what can you say about the new coaches on the staff?
Yeah, my job is always to keep Texas State baseball number one, and so to me, that's my job, is to make really hard decisions, but Coach Goins is the newest guy on staff. He's a really, really great recruiting guy. Obviously, he was the director of the Texas Prep Baseball Report. Literally, if you know any player in the state of Texas, you can ask him. He's going to know who he is, where he's from, and everything about him. And that's exactly what he's in that role for, is to know that, and to know that we have a guy constantly, recruiting 24/7 and has all the connections as well. Obviously, Coach Linehan in his second year, and like I said, last year he didn't get the full year with us. He was still with the Twins, and so I was really excited to have a full fall with our guys to install his system with our guys, and then continue on, obviously heading into the spring. And then, of course, Coach Blakely's been with me since day one. Took over the pitching midway through last year, and now has his full year with the pitching staff as well. And so Coach Wallace, new to the program as well, is our pitching development guy in analytics, and does a really good job helping out Coach Blakely on the pitching side with the technology piece and the analytics piece, and just pitch design behind the scenes.
Coach, what does it mean for Texas State to be moving to the Pac-12 with the reinvestment in the technology, the history of this program? What does that just say about what they expect for you guys to achieve as a baseball program?
Yeah, obviously, our kind of our mindset going into the season is to leave your mark on the Sun Belt, right? That's our mark. We want to go out one more time, and we won it 2 of the last 6 years, and hopefully we win it 3 of the last 7, and to head off into the Pac-12. But for me, I'm excited. I love the Sun Belt from a baseball aspect. Obviously, some really good teams, some really good conferences, some really great coaches. I think that's something I'll probably miss a little bit, is just the connections with those coaches that I've been with for a long time. But yeah, the Pac-12 has been great so far with some of the meetings we've had. And I think from a baseball aspect, you got teams, Oregon State, Dallas Baptist, Washington State, who's coming in, and some places. Obviously, we're going to be traveling west, and some teams that have had some really big success. And so for us, I think different brand of baseball probably heading west. But for me, it's just about the same goals are still going to apply for us of trying to get to a regional and to get past that, and through that, hopefully win a Pac-12 championship. So I'm excited for it. Obviously, financially down the road is going to be a really big impactful force, and in this day and age, you got to have the money in different areas to be successful. It's going to give us that as well.
Yeah, looking at this pitching rotation, obviously you lost some really great arms from last season, but what can you say about the arms replacing from last year, and what do you expect from this pitching staff going into this year?
Yeah, the good news is heading in, and we had meetings on it. We probably talk about too much about different options and how you plan out the bullpen and plan out the situational guys. And so there's a big mix of guys. We feel really confident. When that list isn't very long, you get kind of nervous about how it's going to go out. Right now, that list is pretty long on guys that we feel confident in, and then how they do when the lights come on totally changes everything. But I think there's some key depth to it. We talk about Jesus Tovar was our Saturday guy last year, had some really great outings for us. So outings that he wish he probably had back, and so part of that's growing experiences coming back from injury from junior college, and excited. We've added some new weapons to him as well. A guy like Kyle Fralick, who's a 6-year guy from UT Tyler, who went to junior college in Nebraska, and then was at UT Tyler last year. Was a D2 third-team All-American. Real veteran guy, knows how to pitch, and so there's a lot of guys that have had experience, and then like I said, some of these young guys that are just super talented, and so I'm excited for the blend of it, and I think we could create a really dynamic in our bullpen as well. I think that's probably the biggest piece is losing, Laws, Dudley, and Tippy. That was 3 really, really good guys back there. And so there's going to be a different guy closing the games, but we feel like we have the weapons and the personnel. But like I said, nothing's truly set in stone until the lights come on and those guys get out, and we high five after a win.
Hey, Coach, can you speak to some of the investments that have been made in this program between the new scoreboard and just the plans for the future of Texas State baseball?
Yeah, I think, everybody talks about, NIL, which is obviously a big piece to it as well, to handle the portal and all the above, and that's definitely always at the forefront of our minds, but also you got player development, and then you also have facility upgrades. And so to me, the Jumbotron has been a big deal of trying to get that installed and have a full screen, fully digital, that's going to be able to, one, from a fan atmosphere, from just a game day exposure, it's going to look different. And then two, for us during practice, we use our technology on that board as well. So to be able to see the strike zone during inter squads, to do different things. Like I said, fan experience, the overall experience is going to be big for us. And yeah, the player development center is going to be, we've been pushing for it for 3 years, and finally we're there, and it's going to go behind left field, and it's going to be really a really big impact for our guys. And so to me, I want our guys to come to the ballpark and never leave. I want them to be here 24/7, and to have these facilities here, they're going to be able to do that. And so like I tell everybody all the time, everything we fundraise is for our players, and so we're able to put technology in there, be able to have that area to go in there to get better, and that's on the pitching side and on the hitting side. So really excited for that. And then phase 2 will be the locker room and the offices and the weight room. That'll all be kind of where we're standing right now.
Coach, y'all had some really impressive wins last season. Texas A&M, but the players were talking a little bit about how they would have like a chip on their shoulder for those P4 teams, but then they felt like they underachieved in the Sun Belt. Have you changed anything in terms of how you teach your culture and mindset to your players so that your guys are constantly, consistently have the same mindset no matter who the opponent is?
Yeah, I think the key of it is that we talk about it all the time. We spend a lot of time on our culture, a lot of time on our mindset, and for us, I want to play with a chip on our shoulder all the time. I think for us, when you lose, you got to learn, and I think for our guys, and in ourselves included, that you got to treat every game the same. And so, there was last year, not that they took anybody for granted, but sometimes it felt that way, and it eventually that falls on me. But to me, we try to treat every game the same as a coaching staff. If we're playing Texas, or if we're playing anybody in the Sun Belt or anybody out of the Power 4, the game's the game. If you don't play the game at a high level, you're not going to have a chance to win that day. And so for us, it's about being consistent, not worry about controlling the other dugout or the umpires. It's more about control what we can control, and that's executing pitches, playing great defense, and having great quality at bats. And so, I think it's simple. When this place is filled with 5,000 people and it's Texas and Texas A&M, you're probably going to get a little bit more hype for it. I get that piece of it. Honestly, those nights we're trying to calm them down more than to get them going. And so, yeah, we've talked about different ways to maybe motivate them more when it's games where maybe there's not 5,000 people here. And so we'll continue to work through that. But to me, it's just going back to treating every day the same and being excited to play because they understand if you don't, you're probably going to get beat that day.
Coach, what's been your experience taking a team from the Sun Belt to the Pac-12? What has been sort of the things you've learned as you made this transition from one conference to another?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot will transition more into next year. But to me, I think it's been probably the biggest change has been in recruiting. To be honest with you, trying to maybe reach out a little farther. Maybe guys see that as a Power 5 conference, in which obviously that's what everybody wants to play in. And so for me, I think taking that and kind of running with it in the recruiting world has been the big piece of it. I think the baseball side is going to work itself out as far as how they play the game. A lot of teams play the same. Used to, you played West Coast baseball. It was a lot of small ball. That's no longer anymore. It's a power game, and so you got to have power, players to match those guys. And so, to me, I think the key is going to be just handling the travel, which we do now in the Sun Belt, just going a different direction and figuring out where's the best place to stay and kind of the logistics side of it. And so, but like I said, I think probably the biggest piece is just being able to maybe broaden our horizons a little bit in recruiting and maybe opens up some of those larger connections.
Yeah, looking at this offense, obviously y'all have had y'all struggles. Obviously y'all were getting the hits, just like the runs just wasn't coming in. Just what was one thing y'all wanted to focus on, learning from last season coming into this season?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's a couple things. It's one, it's getting on base. You got to find a way to get on base, and through that is our mantra is hit strikes hard, and so that kind of goes right into it, right? We want to make sure we swing at strikes and take the balls and make that pitcher work. And so for us, a walk is a win for us. And I want our guys to be more excited than a walk than they are hitting a ball in the gap, and just understand it's going to produce runs eventually. But then when you do get a strike, hit it hard, make it count, right? Hit balls in the gap, hit balls out of the ballpark, and I think this team can do that with the personnel we have. And like I said, every year that's kind of what we going into it is understand we gotta control the strike zone and we gotta do damage, right? And you can take one swing to win, but also not the offense that just lives and dies by the homer. I think the double games is great, the single game's great. You just got to continue to keep pressure on the other team and on that pitcher, and so if you do that, you'll score a lot of runs. And so through the fall, I really liked what our offense did. They did a good job of making our pitchers throw a lot of strikes, and then when they did, it got hammered. And so that's got to carry over as a group and into the spring. And I think the key is we've been playing inter squads. Everybody gets to play, and starting in 2 weeks, it's 9 guys in that lineup compared to all 20 guys. So those guys not getting to play. And so how do you handle that as a teammate? How do you handle that with your culture? How are you ready to come off the bench to make those changes? And so to me, there's a lot to be determined on that. But I think this offense could be one of the more dynamics in the country.
Yeah, when you have someone like Chase Moore, obviously as talented as he is, he can go just about anywhere he wants to. But he's decided, stay here at Texas State all 4 years. What does it mean for someone like him, being here as a freshman, doing what he did his freshman year, being able to stay here in San Marcos as a senior? Yeah,
I mean, to me, just the word that screams out is loyalty, and that's one thing we talk about all the time. But, Chase and his family have been very loyal to us, and we've been very loyal to him. And so to me, I think it's the perfect combination. And so we're very fortunate and blessed that he did that, and very thankful he did that. And so it's excited to watch year 4. And as I told him in his next meeting last night, we've done a lot of really cool things together. The 2 things we haven't done is won a championship and been to a regional, and that's my goal is to get him there this year. And so, but yeah, that's what we want guys to see. They come to Texas State, they fall in love with not just the baseball side, but fall in love with the city, the university, and most importantly, their experience. And our guys are treated really well when they get here, and we try to treat it as a family. And Chase and his family are definitely part of our family.